Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Just very quickly, if I look different to you today, I'm not sick, I'm not tired, I just completely bypassed the makeup step because it's such a short video and I just couldn't justify putting on a face of makeup for it. So as I said, today's video is going to be a short one. It's actually a requested video. I've been asked a number of questions on Twitter regarding the latest update in Johnny Depp's defamation case. If you've been keeping up to date with this case and if you've been watching my videos, then you'll remember that Amber is compelling Johnny to go to the States, even though he's meant to be filming in the UK, in order to give a deposition at her lawyer's offices. On the 15th of October, the court partially sided with Amber and ruled that Johnny must appear for 3 consecutive days at Amber's attorney's offices in Virginia, or in any such other place specified in Northern Virginia by Amber's lawyers. His presence is required from the 10th of November to the 12th this year, obviously, beginning at 10 a.m. each day. He's also been ordered to pay Amber the amount of $650.20 in order to pay for the court reporter and videographer and the transcript for the deposition. First, I'm going to answer the questions that I've been asked on Twitter, and then I will supplement my answers with my personal thoughts on this update. So the main question was, can Johnny do anything about this order? Can he fight it? Can he appeal it? The other question was whether Johnny could send an attorney on his behalf to give the deposition. And the answer is a very resounding no. It's akin to saying that Johnny is unavailable to testify at court on a certain day, and so his attorney will testify on his behalf. It's just not gonna happen. Johnny, as the claimant, must give his own deposition. It is not the role of an attorney to give evidence on behalf of their client. I was also asked whether Johnny could give the deposition remotely, and that is a major component of what Johnny and his legal team were trying to negotiate with Amber's defense. So this isn't something that they haven't considered and haven't already tried to argue and put forth in their submissions. So that is also not an option, because the court order, when you read it, very clearly specifies that he must appear for 3 consecutive days in the offices or any such other place in Northern Virginia. There is no allowance for a remote deposition. So in this case, I am assuming that the judge was convinced that the presence of a court reporter and a videographer is very important and vital, and the costs, I suppose, of getting these people to travel to the United Kingdom were maybe disproportionate. Maybe it was an unreasonable thing to expect Amber's defense team to do. Because at the end of the day, we have to remember that when Johnny filed this complaint, of course, he filed it off his own volition. And he knew that at some point, he would have to give a deposition as part of the process. Of course, when he filed it, COVID was not in existence, and he didn't know that there would be such extensive disruptions to filming schedules and flights and travel and quarantine. So yes, again, it's not his fault, but it's just something that in order to progress his case that he wants to fight, he must give a deposition. And yes, it's an inconvenient thing, but in the grand scheme of things, it must be done in order to proceed. On the bright side, Amber was demanding 5 days for a deposition, which is extensive, and the court only granted her 3 days, so that's a plus for Johnny. And with regards to quarantine, in the UK, there is kind of an exception for talent, so entertainers and such, whereby they don't have to self-isolate for 2 weeks upon returning to the UK, as long as they test negative upon arrival, and then even then, they can only report to set and then go straight back to their home or their hotel room or wherever their place of residence happens to be during filming. So they're not allowed to go out and mingle, I suppose, for these 2 weeks, but they can just report to work and go straight back home. Filming is most definitely going to have to be rescheduled in order to accommodate for this change. There is also the risk of Johnny contracting the illness, but I'm assuming he can get a private jet to travel, so he wouldn't have to be on a commercial flight with other people who could potentially infect him. So here's hoping that that is an option that is available to him. Because he's Johnny Depp, I'm going to assume that it is an option that is available to him. And also there were concerns of Warner Brothers potentially firing him over this. And I don't personally believe that is going to happen. Firstly, because he is a major star in the franchise. Secondly, it's really not his fault. Johnny filed his complaint last year. And so this is nothing new to them. They must have been put on notice. I believe it would be Johnny's obligation, actually, to inform Warner Brothers of this trial, because it does have the possibility of impacting his filming schedule and his obligations, as evidenced by this latest court order. So Warner Brothers would have been on notice about these things happening, and I'm certain that they can work around it in some way. At the end of the day, we have to remember this is not Johnny's fault, and ideally, no one is above the law. I know that there are corrupt individuals and corporations out there who are above the law, but in this situation, this is a classic example of how even Warner Brothers isn't above the law, and they cannot stop this court order from being fulfilled. I think we all need to keep our eye on the prize, as I'm sure Johnny is doing himself. This, in the grand scheme of things, is not a setback strictly with regards to the defamation case. Johnny is required to give evidence, and it is necessary for his case to proceed, which is ultimately what he wants. Having never been involved in a US-style deposition, I don't know how important it is for the person providing the evidence to be physically present. On paper, to me, theoretically, a remote deposition was absolutely viable, especially in this era of COVID. As I said in my previous videos, we have entire trials being run through remote means, such as Zoom. So why not a deposition? But I suppose the physical presence of everyone involved was deemed to be important enough by the court to make this ruling. I think that's all I have to say on this topic. I am quite keen to find out what the court's ruling is with regards to the hearing that took place on the 16th of October, on Friday, with regards to Johnny's opposition to Amber's counterclaim. That hearing is one of the more important ones that have been held in this case so far. That's it for this video. I hope I've answered your questions. I know they're not the answers that you're looking for, because at this point, everyone just wants everything to go very smoothly for Johnny, as he very well deserves. But that's just not realistic, as I said. As always, please let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with the judge? Do you believe that he probably had very compelling reasons to make this order? Or do you fundamentally disagree with this ruling? Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in a future video.